Hillary and welcome back for another Creative Faith video. In today's video, I am excited to be giving you guys a full tour of our home. So in October, the end of October 2022, my husband and I bought our first house together, and it was a really crazy process. We definitely were not expecting or planning to buy a house in 2022, but I am reminded that, we can make our plans, but the Lord is the one who ultimately determines our steps. And I am making a kind of series on YouTube here called Home Sweet Home. And so I'm gonna film a video with my husband walking through the process of really how God led us to this point, because it's just a really cool testimony of his provision, of his direction. So I'm not sure the exact order of how I will be uploading these videos, but I will have that linked down below, as well as the Home Sweet Home playlist. And then I do have an empty house tour. So I filmed a video with my husband back in the fall of last year, when we just first got the keys. And so if you want to see what this space looked like empty, you can go watch that video. But I love our home so much. The other day we were sitting on the couch and my husband looked at me and he said, "I just love our house." And I love having people over. I love being here, creating a cozy space. I am not like the world's greatest homemaker, I don't think. It has been definitely a challenge for me to manage working. I have a job where I work for our church. I run Creative Faith, and then keeping up with bills and cleaning and maintaining this place has definitely been a really challenging adjustment, but I try and have just a lot of grace for myself, and it's not a perfect place, and that's okay, because guess what? People live here. And anyways, so it's just been quite the process of learning how to clean it, and we now have a front yard and a backyard, which we've never had before. And so anyways, it's just been a roller coaster, but I love this place. And so in this video, I wanted to just share some decorating tips and ideas. And our home, I would describe as very traditional. I also have a lot of old vintage pieces that I'm going to talk about too. I love creating just like a cozy space, a warm space. And I think we've done a great job of doing that. I decorate for Christmas and I decorate for fall, and then I have kind of decorations for the rest of the year that I leave up from like January through late August. So I'm currently filming this in February of 2023. So I have just kind of our general decorations up, and a lot of basically probably like 90 to 95% of things in our house are hand-me-downs from friends, family members, neighbors. And a part of me is like, oh, someday, it'd be nice to have new things. But I also think, wow, how beautiful that I get to look around our home and see how God has provided furniture for us. And I get to think of those people who gifted us those items when I look around our home. So I think that's really sweet too. And I wanted to read a Bible verse before I did this tour. And I found this verse when I moved into a townhouse with my cousin. I think it was in like 2016 or 2017. So after college, I moved to the Dominican Republic. So I lived on my own there in apartments. And then I moved back home in 2016, and I live with my parents, and then I moved in with my cousin, and then I moved in with my sister, and then I got married. So those are I've lived, on my own, close and far, and anyways, but I love this verse. It's from Isaiah 32, and it's verse 18. And it says, "My people will live in a peaceful habitation, in safe dwellings, and in quiet resting places." And again, that's Isaiah 32:18. And I just love that verse and thinking about how our homes are created to be a sanctuary, be a safe place, be a place full of God's peace and love, and they're an opportunity for us to share God's love with others too by hosting and hospitality and whatnot. So we are gonna start the tour now. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. It is a single level house, so there's no stairs or anything like that. And I think it's about 1,200 square feet, and we have a front yard and a backyard and a very, very tiny porch. I'm not going to show the front for just kind of security reasons, but that's kind of the specs of our home. And let's get into walking around and seeing the spaces. So I'm starting here in our bedroom. This is in the front of the house, so I will flip the camera around now and let's get started sharing what our home looks like. And I would love for you to comment below with what is your favorite place in your house. All right, so comment below what is your favorite place in your house. I would love to hear and see those comments, and as we walk around, I'll share my favorite places as well. So when you walk in our house, here's our front door. We have our little entry area. Got this old vintage level that we added some hooks to that my parents did for our coats, and then this embroidery hoop macrame thing, and we made that on my bachelorette party day. So that was a really fun craft, and I use this thing over here to hold mail that I need to send or mail we receive before I kind of sort it. And I have like my purse and some of my husband's work stuff in these cubes. And then the very first room in our house is the bedroom. So the bedroom looks out on the front, and I love our bedroom so much. Can you guess which nightstand is mine? So that's my husband's side of the bed. Very simple, and I have like half of my craft room in my nightstand. So here is our bed, and I love our bedroom so much. And it is a really cozy space, and I really love it because we've added kind of the most to it. So all of the lamps in here are things that we purchased in the past month, really. So this beautiful lamp I got using my birthday money, and it swings and has a really cool reflection at night, and so I love sitting here reading. And both of these blankets, my mom knitted the purple one, and then the quilt down there is using old doilies from my grandma and great grandma. Then I have all old Bible studies I've done in the little crate there. And then circling back to the bed, so these 2 lamps on either side of the bed are also new additions using birthday money that I got. And the bases, the white bases, are from my bedroom when I was in middle school. My mom had saved those, so I had one and my sister had one. And then we found these beautiful lamps at Home Goods. I'm kind of obsessed with wicker. One of my favorite YouTubers is Allison Bickerstaff. I'll link her channel down below, and she has these really beautiful wicker lamps that are hanging, and I really wanted to get those, but they're a little more expensive, and my husband didn't want holes in our ceiling. So we found these at Home Goods, and it just creates this really cool glow and shadow, and I just love the texture that it adds too. On top of our dressers, I keep it pretty minimal. I have a picture from a photo shoot my husband and I did, and I made these books. I ripped off the covers of books and stamped on them, so that's a cool piece. And then this pillow my grandma made. It used to be a pillow and it was really flat and old. And so for Christmas, my mom took it and had it framed. And I just love having these pieces. You'll see another one that my grandma made, and I just really love having those pieces in our home to remind me of her. She passed away when I was 4 years old, so it's really special to kind of have her in our home in that way with these things she made. And then over here is my husband's dresser, and we have another picture, and then this is a really cool sign that has the latitude and longitude of our house. That's why there's all these post-its covering it. And one of Juan's co-workers gave this to us for Christmas, so that is a really special piece to have in here as well. We read the Bible together at night, and I read the Bible in the morning after my husband heads off to work. So I have a stack of books and Bible study plans and my Bible study notebook, happy planner, and I keep my Tombow markers, and there's another Bible and journals and stickers. So I have a lot of craft supplies on my nightstand, but I love getting to curl up in bed and read God's Word. Off of the bedroom, we have the master bath. This is not a very beautiful room. So they did redo all the flooring and painted the whole house gray before we moved in, and there's a new toilet and lights and mirror, but the shower is pretty not great. We did add a double towel rack, which has really been helpful. But anyways, not the most exciting room in the house, but maybe someday we can work on making a few updates. Then off the bathroom, we have our closet. Not like a overly exciting place either. It's actually smaller than the closet in our apartment where we used to live, but stores our stuff. And we use it for like extra towels are down there, and linens are up here. So we kind of use this as our linen closet, because in a little bit I'll show you what we have in what's supposed to be the linen closet. So from here, that's the master bedroom, very cozy space. I love hanging out in here. And then that door leads to our garage. And then in here is the coat closet. So we have storage for scarves and hats and gloves and flip-flops. And then we have all our jackets, and then I have like our vacuum stuff and cleaning stuff up here as well, and hats. So that is the front closet. And then we have the main space. And then in here is our garage. I love to do quite a bit of work in here. We really need to get some shelves in, and just this place needs a lot of work. We have attic access, but I'd love to add a ladder, like a nice ladder, and make that hole bigger so we could really utilize the attic for a lot more storage. And we need to get like sensors on our garage and stuff like that. So this is a room that I would really like to add a bunch of storage to soon. So here is the main space in our house, which I will get to in a moment. But coming over here, this is the laundry and the other 2 bedrooms and bath. So we'll start in here. So we had this metal thing in our apartment, and so that's been really great for storing our extra towels. And we had to buy a shower curtain rod for in here, so we got that and got our shower curtain hung, but we never use this bathroom, but it is here and available. And then these are a craft that I had in the apartment bathroom as well, with these fabrics and doilies and embroidery hoops. So that is our second bathroom. And then this is our laundry cupboard closet. And this is another place that I would really love to add some storage. So my vision is I'd like to put a cabinet over here and then put a shelf and a rod, because we hang dry the majority of our clothes. So that is my vision for here. And then in that cabinet in here, I can put cleaning supplies and laundry supplies, because right now I keep them in that second bathroom. And so I really want to make this a priority project as well. So kind of working on the garage, and here are kind of two areas that I hope we can get to sooner rather than later, to just give us some more storage. Off the laundry space, we have the 2 extra bedrooms. This one we've turned into an office, and I'll just give you guys a brief overview of it, but I am gonna do a full separate like craft room setup video showing how I have it organized and things like that. So this is just a brief overview of what the office looks like, and it has a big walk-in closet in here, which is great for storing all Creative Faith products and things like that. So that is the craft room office. And again, I will link down below a video sharing this space in more detail. And then I also have a video from our apartment with a craft room update. So if you like seeing more about crafty spaces, I will link that video down below. But this is a space where I spend a lot of time, and it is just a really great place to work and be creative, but also be able to shut the door and kind of put work mode away, versus in our apartment it was just always out and visible. So I love that. And then here's the 3rd bedroom that we use for all of our storage right now. So eventually I'd love to get shelving in our garage. So these are all of our holiday decorations in here and Christmas lights. And then we also have our luggage and things like that. So I would love to get all of this into the garage or attic, because Lord willing, this will someday be a kid's room. I'm not pregnant, but someday we would like to start a family, and so that's what this room would be. So we have this really cool dresser from our pastor and his wife. They're moving and getting rid of things, so they gave us this dresser, which was actually her kids' changing table and dresser. She has 4 kids, and so I thought that was really sweet for them to give that to us. And then the bookshelf is also from them, so it's nice to have a few key pieces of furniture in here. But again, hopefully this will be a space that can get cleaned up someday, but for now it's just our storage room. There's also a little closet in here, and that houses like our wine glasses are all up there because we don't have a ton of room in the kitchen, and wedding dresses and Christmas tree and guitar and box drum. So a lot of storage in here. And then there is one more closet to show you. Our kitchen is not very big at all. There it is. So in our apartment, our kitchen was a U shape. So we had, you know, a whole nother basically kind of line of cabinets and counter space, and this kitchen is an L right now. But one of the things we did that I actually really like, this is supposed to be the linen closet, and we have used it as our appliance garage. But I actually really like this because these are things that you don't use very often, and so it's nice to kind of have them all tucked away where you can't, you know, you don't need to access them, and so they're not taking up precious cabinet space in the kitchen, but someday it would be great to maybe not have these here, but for now, this is where all of our appliances live. We got our Instapot, our air fryer, bread maker, toaster, blender, KitchenAid, and some vitamins as well too. So that is our appliance garage. And then we have our main living space. This is one of the things that Juan and I really love about our house is that it is like all big and central. And that was one thing that was kind of on, especially my husband's wish list for our house, is that it would have one big great room. So we weren't really wanting like a walled off separate kitchen living room space. So we really like having everything in one room. And I wanted to start with sharing a little bit about this entry-ish area. And so this Fernandez sign was a bridal shower gift from my friend Sydney. So I love having that on display in our house. And then this cabinet is really cool. It was in my parents' house when they were little. I can't remember if it was my mom or my dad's house, but when they were growing, one of them was growing up, this was in their house, and it housed encyclopedias. So there's actually a shelf there that's supposed to go in the middle. And so they had encyclopedias on here. And then when my mom and dad got married, they got it and they put their encyclopedias on it. So it's kind of a neat generational piece. And I love having the little letterboard to swap out with different seasonal phrases. That was a wedding gift. And in here I have placemats and kitchen towels and pot holders as well. So those are in here, and really pretty decorations. The tray cake stand was a wedding gift. Juan and I found this at a thrift store, and I really liked that. And my sister got this from a trip they did to Europe. So that was a really special gift. There we go, with dried flowers. So from there we have our dining table, another vintage family find. My mom recovered the chairs so they would match. Then we have our berry crate wall art, which I love, and that's fun to decorate seasonally. And some beeswax candles. And then we have our fridge and this little wire thing my grandpa got me when I was in college. So it's traveled with me from place to place, and so it just houses some extra kitchen stuff because again, we don't have a ton of storage. These were a really fun find. I will link them down below on Amazon, these magnets. So these again would normally need to be in the aprons in a drawer, but I put them on the side of our fridge. So that freed up some space in a drawer. And then on the other side, I actually have our oven mitts. So it was a set, these cool magnets were a set of 4. So that was a really great way to save some room. And so here's our kitchen. Again, there's not very much counter space at all, and not a ton of so there's not counter space and not a ton of cabinets either. But we make it work and are still someday maybe dreaming of adding a kitchen island, or perhaps adding some counter coming off this way into the room. So I don't want to close it off too much, but I would love a tiny bit more counter space and cabinet space if possible. But that is our cute little kitchen. It gets the job done. We make all our meals in here, and that is super great. And now I'm so excited to tell you guys about the coffee bar. We have a lot of drink stuff, not alcoholic drinks, but like teas, hot chocolates, chai tea, turmeric tea. I have a large mug collection, teacups. And so I was envisioning having something here that is like a little coffee bar. And so this piece has a really, really cool story. So growing up, there was a little market by my grandma's house. And this sat on the counter and held like pies and cookies and things. So this was in a store many years ago. Probably, I don't know, probably 100 years ago. I'm not sure. And then somehow my grandma got it into her house once she got married. So this was in my mom's house growing up, and my grandma had antiques in it. And so it's really, really special that it's here now and housing all of our fun drink stuff. And I did hope to cover the glass with something. I just don't love like how messy it looks with all of our stuff inside. I tried to cover it with craft paper, but with the way the doors are arranged, it's really, really tricky to get inside of it. So if you have any ideas for me, comment below, but I really like this piece, and we used to have our coffee maker on here, but we have been drinking a lot more coffee than tea lately, so I put it in our appliance garage in the other cupboard. But I really love this mug tree. I got ours from Target, but I will link a similar one on Amazon. So this is fun to have our mugs on, and I love changing this out seasonally. And then I have my favorite milk frother. This is another Amazon find that I'll link down below. And yeah, it's just, again, a fun place to decorate seasonally. And then above it, we have our hope board. This came from an old chicken coop on the church property that they tore down. And so my mom and dad and I saved a bunch of boards and painted them and added hope on them, and so we call them hope boards. And so it's really neat to have this encouraging sign in our house to hopefully inspire people and remind them that there is hope. Okay, now we have our living space. I love this space so much. So you can see there's a little coffee bar in our kitchen, and then we have our living room. And again, basically everything in here is a hand-me-down, but I love how it is cozy, and we spend a ton of time in here reading, listening to worship music. Juan will play the guitar, the box drum in here. We love watching movies at night, TV shows. I do a lot of Bible study in here too, and we have a beautiful view of our backyard. And it's a beautiful day today, and I just love our fireplace, and it's just such a cozy place to spend time. Here is another angle of it. So this tree stump came from my childhood home growing up. My parents cut the tree down, and they had the wood and drying in the garage for years, and then they like lacquered it, and so that's really cool to have this in here. We have our bowling pin lamp. That's another family find. And the couch pulls out into a bed, so that will be really great if my husband's family ever comes to visit. They could stay and sleep here. And just have these really cute little decorative moments. And we've got our TV. Someday I would love to maybe get a nicer piece to go under the TV, or even like have my husband build shelves or something like that, bookshelves, I don't know. But we put our Christmas tree here, so I don't want to crowd it too much, but I'd love to kind of make this look a little nicer someday. But we got our little cube storage for now. And then I love our fireplace. I will often sit right there on the floor. My husband will sometimes lay here on the floor on the rug and just be all cozy and warm by the fire. And I love the top. This is another little decorating moment that I like to change out seasonally. And I wanted to share the story of this piece. This is another piece that my grandma Pat made, and I really love what it says here. It says, "Give me a house to call my own, family and friends to make it a home, love and kindness that will never depart, enough to fill a thankful heart." And it just puts tears in my eyes reading that and seeing it in our home. And so this was a piece that my grandma Pat made, and it was in my mom's house growing up when she was a little girl. And then it kind of just sat in a garage for a while. And when we lived in the apartment, my mom found it and took it and had it framed for me. And it's just one of my most favorite things in our house. I love the sentiment and just having this beautiful, encouraging phrase of, wow, what a blessing it is to have a house, to have our home that is full of love and kindness. So that's a really special piece. And then this is our guest book from our wedding. It is a journaling Bible from Legacy of Love Creations that everyone signed. So that's neat to have here. And then we have a picture from a photo shoot we did, and this little owl my Aunt Sue sketched. And so it's just a really sweet, sweet place in our house. We are almost done with the tour. So here is just another little look of our room. I found this blanket. I was looking for the perfect cozy blanket, and this one's from Target, and I love it. So this is my blanket, and the blue one is Juan's. My mom got him that the first day he arrived in the US in December of 2019. She gave him this big blue fuzzy blanket because it's so cold here, and he's from a tropical island in the Caribbean. And so we have that blanket, and then I have this blanket. And again, we just love curling up on the couch and reading and watching TV. And then back here we have this piece. So one of our family friends was moving, I think it was about when I had moved back from the DR. She was moving across the country and getting rid of a lot of things. So a lot of what you see in here is actually hers, including this bookshelf that her dad built. And so my mom painted it white, and it has traveled with me from apartment to apartment. And so it's really neat to have this in our home, and again, just have these beautiful decorating moments. So more book art that I made, and that was a birthday gift from a friend, and same with that. And these were some paintings that our friend Minerva did for us. And let's see what else. We have our different collections over here. So we love to collect beach glass when we go to the beach, as well as collecting agates. And so it's neat to be able to display these collections. And then I also collect pins and little charms and things. So those are some of our collections. Well, my collections that my husband has now inherited and become a part of. And then I decided to flip all the books around just to give it a more cohesive look and less kind of colorful and random. So that's our bookshelf. And this was actually a chamber pot from family as well that my mom gave me, and she dried these hydrangeas from my parents' house and put them in here. So she gave me that as like a little housewarming gift. So it's kind of fun to have this chamber pot that was used by my family, my ancestors. That's now a decoration in our house. So last but not least, we have our backyard, and it snowed yesterday. So there's a little bit of white out here, but we would love to do a lot of fun things back here. I really want to maybe get like a little table and chair so we could eat dinner out here. We do have cushions for these, so we'll put those out come spring. And I'd love to get a hammock for back here, and someday I'd love to turn this part into a covered part and add like a little roof, have my husband build a roof out here so that we could, even when it was raining, spend time outside. At one of the apartments I lived at with my sister, we had a covered back porch, and I spent a lot of time reading on the little couch there. Even when it was raining, I'd just grab a blanket and sit out and listen to the rain, but I was under the covers. And anyways, so we'd love to add a cover back here and get a barbecue, and maybe over there build some planter boxes and have a garden. So lots of dreams for this outdoor space. And if there is side yard on both of the sides too, that we'll have to just kind of play around with. I also think we'll probably need to build like a shed of some sort. We don't have a lawnmower yet, or basically any yard tools, but we're gonna definitely need space for those. And our garage just isn't super big, so we're thinking about doing something like that too. But lots of projects, not very much time or money to do them yet, but it's so fun to be able to dream and just kind of think about it. So that is our house tour, our full house tour. I love this space, I love this place, and I hope this video gave you some ideas on how to decorate, maybe how to incorporate some old vintage pieces into your home. I think it's really sweet when you can either thrift finds or have things passed down from your family that you then get to incorporate into your home and decorating. And I asked you to comment below what your favorite place is in your house, and I should probably share mine. I definitely love this area right here, our couch, and being, again, just curled up. We spend a lot of time here. We actually, which this isn't probably very good, but we eat most of our dinners on the couch. And I don't know, I just love being curled up. And I also love our bedroom for that same reason. I love reading the Bible in bed together and listening to worship music. And I don't know, I just really enjoy being curled up in blankets. So those are probably my two favorite spaces. I also really enjoy having an office for Creative Faith. That is such a blessing. I don't know if, that will forever be the Creative Faith office. I'm not sure, but I mean, how cool would it be to have a little shed out back for Creative Faith? That would be really fun too, if we ever had multiple children and needed multiple bedrooms. I don't know, just kind of fun to dream and think. But I do love having an office space, but sometimes I get really stressed and overwhelmed with all these ideas and projects for Creative Faith, so sometimes it can stress me out a little bit too. But I love having a place to be creative and to spread out and get messy and not feel bad for it being that way for a while. So that's kind of fun too. And I'd also love for you to comment below, what was your favorite thing you saw in this video, your favorite place in my home? I wish I could just have you all over here and have like a giant workshop Bible journaling night. That would be so fun. But for now, you are invited over digitally through this video. And if you'd love to see more home content, definitely let me know in the comments too. It's something that is just really a big part of my life, being home. I'm a definite homebody. We love spending time here, and it's nice to make it a beautiful place to rest and just a sanctuary. So be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below too, and the bell notification so that you don't miss out on any Creative Faith videos, and I'll see you next time.